Hey guys, I do apologize for the wind and everything, but I wanted to come on here and, give my take once again on something I talked about 20 days ago, and it seemingly has been a discussion point for outlets here on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, like Clownfish TV and others, like Clownfish TV, I should be saying, and WDW Pro. It's been pretty much a conversation piece for them. And yeah, this is just one of those situations to where hopefully some of these studios have learned a lesson. I mentioned this, I think, in the video I did 20 days ago, that basically the lesson hopefully they're learning from this is to make sure you put some fine print in the contract, for those you're going to sign to star in certain movies, whether they're original movies, adaptations of stories from books, or remakes, live action remakes maybe, based on animated classics like what we had recently with Snow White. Because the Snow White situation with Rachel Zellweger, easy for me to say, with Rachel Zellweger, the situation with her is, just one that if you're Disney, you are like, man, this is not good for us, because the end result basically is a lot of theaters, not just across the country here in the US, but across the world, pretty much a lot of theaters are not, very well attended, that are showing the movie. They're not very well attended. You have like a few people in there, if not none at all, and that's it. Not a lot of people want to see this film. Not a lot of people want to see this film. And we're not just and here's the thing, we're not talking empty seats during daytime showings. We're talking empty seats during the actual prime time showings, like in the evening and everything. Nobody wants to see the film, and it's all because of Rachel Zellweger's comments and everything that she's made, not just politically and everything, but also her comments towards the original classic. Because the original classic is what pretty much, as we've all said, helped save Disney's butt. Disney himself, Walt Disney himself, mortgaged everything, bet everything on this film's success, on the original animated classic success, and he was rewarded for that risk. He was, able to not only save his studio, but, basically make back more originally than he intended. He was able to make back more than he originally intended or thought he was going to make back. And basically, as I fix my sandal here for a second, basically, in the long run, it helped put, like I said, put Disney right on the map, as the leader in animation and family entertainment, if you will, overall entertainment. Even to this day, despite all their ups and downs they've been going through, including this. So for her comment to come out and, for her to come out, I should say, and make the comments she did during D23 when they were promoting this film, like what, a couple years ago or something? That didn't sit well with a lot of people, because to them, the original film, again, is what helped save the studio. And the original film was good, as it was. It was good, as it needed to be, if you will. And yeah, it was a different time and place, different era and all that during that, when it was released, different time and place, different world. But still, basically you should have respect for something that you're gonna, try to take a stab at and remake in live action format. And and even if your take is gonna be different, don't disrespect, don't diss, don't cut the movie off at the you-know-whats, all because of the fact that you have this political view and belief of how things should be. Don't do that. Instead, embrace it as it was. Embrace it as the movie that saved the studio's butt. Embrace it as the classic that it's always going to be. It's always meant to be. And here's the other thing too. Here's the other thing too. Are a lot of fans fatigued with live action remakes by Disney? Yes. But are they against live action remakes of animated classics by Disney or any other studio? No. And the reason I say that is because they would like to see these live action remakes happen, but stay true to what the originals were about. You want to add a little bit here and there, that's fine, but at least keep a majority of the movie, the original movie's essence within the new live action remake. That's all they ask. It's like if you want to do a live action remake on Snow White, keep 75% of the original movie's essence, you know, in the movie. But also, you know, add in your 25% of originality to, you know, add on to the story, since it's going to be live action instead of animated. You know, and if they were to do that, fans would have no issue. Fans would have no issue. I mean, you look at the success that Little Mermaid had. Yeah, a lot of people were against Halle Berry. I mean, not Halle Berry. That, you know, that's another actress, but Halle Bailey. You know, they look at her and yeah, they were upset that, wait a minute, why are you casting her instead of a white girl? And the thing is, she came out and said she loved the original movie as a kid, watched it over and over, you know, a lot, and she was thrilled to be playing Ariel. And on top of that, not only was she thrilled to be playing Ariel, but she was thrilled to try to keep the true essence of the original animated film intact. She was happy to do that. And guess what? Despite how you felt about Little Mermaid, it was a decent success. It wasn't bad. You know? You know, the same thing with the Lion King movies. The first one and Mufasa. Despite how you feel about them, you know, these CGI animated, you know, lifelike remakes, despite how you feel about them, guess what? They stayed true to the essence of what made the Lion King the Lion King. Yeah, they took a different direction with the sequel or prequel, if you will, Mufasa, to tell his story, to tell his tale and everything. But still, the fact of the matter is this. The fact of the matter is this. They kept a majority of the essence of what made the original Lion King good. They kept, you know, a majority, or somewhat of a decent majority, of what made the direct-to-video sequel good, you know, when it came to these movies. You know, so basically, as long as you keep some tangent, some strong tangent of the original animated classic within your live-action remake, then nobody's going to have a problem with them happening. Nobody's going to. But if you're going to go out of your way and, you know, do things differently, to where instead of a prince it's going to be a bandit, okay, fine, but don't have your star, who's going to be playing the titular character, you know, that being Snow White, don't have her coming out and basically, you know, dissing the original premise of how Snow White fell in love and everything. Don't be dissing that. Because, again, if it wasn't for that film, there would be no Disney, period. There'd be no Disney, maybe. Or at least not the Disney we know. So, basically, Disney basically, along with any other studios that have dealt with this, and it will deal with this, because there will be other studios that will deal with this in the future, we all know that. But hopefully this is a lesson that will be learned. Because like I said in the other video, and other people have been saying this, even Clownfish TV to an extent, Neon and Geeky there, have been saying it. And that is, what you need to do is you need to add a stipulation to your contracts. And that stipulation is that when it comes to doing interviews, whether for social media or media overall, to not diss the film you're in. Because that's what Rachel Zegler did. She dissed the film, you know, she dissed the film before it even got a chance to come out. And they were already dealing with some backlash thanks to Peter Dinklage, you know, and his take on, oh, you shouldn't have little people, you know, playing the dwarves or something, being disrespectful with that. And it's everything. It's like they were already dealing with backlash, and then you have Rachel on top of it, the star of the, you know, the star of the film, the particular character of the film, coming out and saying what she did. And it's like, this has to be basically a lesson that Disney has to now learn from. And that lesson is if you're going to do a remake, again, keep a strong tangent, 75% tangent of what made the original good, but also on top of that, make sure whoever you put into one of the main leading roles, if not the leading role, make sure that in the contract, not just for them, but for anybody that's in the film, make sure you put in the contract that they don't say anything disrespectful about the company or the film they're in. Because, you know, if they do, it pretty much is not going to guarantee a successful film, especially if it's a remake of a classic. I mean, hopefully this is something they're going to learn with Lilo and Stitch coming up in a few months. You know, Lilo and Stitch, everybody's looking forward to that because it feels like that's exactly what Disney should be doing, and they got the same people behind it that were behind the animated film. So hopefully Disney will learn the lesson from this, starting with Lilo and Stitch and moving forward, you know, in the near future, so that way they don't have to deal with any kind of, you know, negative reaction. You know, it's basically a situation to where, you know, Disney just has to, just plainly has to tell, you know, those stars, you know, without having to fly up state or up country to tell them to their face and reprimand them, to basically keep your mouth shut and just, you know, do your job in promoting the movie positively, and that's it. So, yeah, not a good look for Disney, and hopefully they'll learn from it. And I got a feeling Miss Zellweger, she won't be in any movies for quite some time. But let me know what your thoughts are, guys. Comment down below, like the video, and until then, I am out.